I get asked this question all the time. What should I wear to a job interview? Today I have 3 things that you should not do, 3 things that you should do, and 1 really great tip at the end that can help you to be sure that you are dressed just right. I'm Jen Swanson, your career coach. Hit that like button and let's get into the first thing not to do. The first thing not to do is to show too much cleavage, too much leg, too much of your open shirt, etc. Keep it professional, keep it modest, and keep it undistracting. And I know people should be able to wear what they want, etc., etc., etc. The reality is we get judged the second we walk in the room. And so if you want people to be judging you for what you say and your accomplishments and all those other things, you want to just keep it polished and professional. Second thing, don't wear perfume or cologne. Many workplaces nowadays have policies against that. Sometimes heavy scent can trigger a migraine, or it can be really distracting. Some people have really bad allergies, and you would rather not have the smell of you precede your entrance into the space. So especially if it's a small space, and if you're on a Zoom interview, a virtual interview, go for it. But it's not necessary in a small space, and I would say just leave it off until you know what the policies and procedures are around scent in the workplace. The third thing is to brush and comb your hair, for goodness sake, and brush and comb your teeth. That would be painful. Brush your teeth and make sure that you look good, that you are presentable, that your hygiene has happened that day, and just look like you've put a bit of effort into it. Now let's talk about what you should do. Have clothes that are clean, not ripped unless they're supposed to be, things that are in good repair, not stained, that kind of thing. The second thing is you want to wear fancier than lying around the house eating cereal and watching Netflix outfits. So you need to look like you've put in some effort, because everything you wear is a communication. So be aware that you are not wearing your loungeabout clothes, even if you're going to interview at a place where loungewear is what you would normally wear. You want to do a little bit more than that. The third thing is to be aware of what you are carrying with you, your purse, your briefcase, your folder that you have your resumes, your extra resumes and your references and note paper so that you can take notes, those kinds of things. Remember that everything you carry with you is a communication. I have actually written a book called What They See, How to Stand Out and Shine in Your New Job, and I will link to that down below, and if you order it I will sign a copy for you. But all of what you do, what you carry with you, what you have in your space around you, especially if you're on a virtual interview, all of that communicates something about you, and people do pay attention to that. So make sure that what you carry with you is intentional. The other thing to never ever do is walk in with your own coffee. I was actually on an interview panel once where someone did that. It's nothing against the coffee. I love having water or coffee or something with me all the time also. But it is presumptuous. It is too casual. It is not nice that you're not bringing it for everyone else. And it just implies something that you probably don't intend, but that you don't want to imply in an interview situation. So hopefully they will offer you coffee or tea when you get there, or water, but don't bring your own in. Finish it before you get there, or leave it in the car, or whatever. But have just the things you need with you. Turn your phone off so that it's not distracting you while you're in the interview, and you will be all set. Now let's get to the number 1 tip to help you dress just right every single time. You want to be a little more bougie than the feel of the job. So a little tiny bit nicer dressed than you would actually be wearing to work if you work there. The way I like to think about it is if you had a dial and you were turning it up 1 notch. Turn it up 1 notch and you'll be dressed just right. So this all depends, of course, on what industry. One of our daughters works in a chiropractic office, and they have a particular uniform that basically looks like an athletic shirt. They all wear the same color shirt with the branding of the clinic on it, and then casual pants. And so they look very athletic and relaxed because that's the vibe that the office is going for. But when she was interviewing, she didn't show up in athletic wear. She would have been a little bit fancier dressed, because what that does is it conveys that you've put in some effort and that you really want to communicate your professionalism. Doesn't matter what industry you're in. You don't need to look like you're wearing gym clothes even if you're applying for a fitness center. Now, it would look ridiculous for you to show up to a fitness center interview in a full-on suit, right? You want to make sure that it's just one notch dialed up. Now, if you're applying for a job in a law office or a corporate situation where you have to be all done up to the nines every day anyway, then that's fine. You may not have an extra notch, and you don't want to be dressed like you're going to the opera in a tux or anything like that. But have your nicest, most classy looking professional garb on, and that will do just fine. So it's up one notch until you get to about the top. And one way you can find out exactly what people are wearing is if it's a business that you can actually go into as a client or a customer, go scope it out. Nobody needs to know you're doing that. Just go and check it out and see what people are wearing. If you cannot physically go into the space, check out their newsletters. Look at the website. Look at anything that has been published online about events that have been happening in that organization, or departments, or news articles, etc., etc. See what you can do by doing a little bit of industry research to see specifically what kind of clothing vibe these people are wearing. And again, what you would wear in your everyday at work may not necessarily be the same as what you would wear to the interview. So the interview, dial up that notch. Next, I'm going to link to a playlist on things to do before the interview. I will see you over there.